My father, in one of his better years, talked about getting a boat. He dreamed we would sail all over the world, away from the prying eyes of children's services. Of course, we could never afford it, but I believe it was one of the reasons we moved back to Florida. My father was many things: a drunk, an addict, a dreamer, a fighter. As every father is to his child, he was also my hero. He portrayed every placement, every move, every change as a constant fight between forces of good and evil. He was good, and children's services was evil, misguided, intent on breaking up the family. He was fighting for me, and I adored him. In reality, the fight was not as black and white as good versus evil. It wasn't until I was older that I understood the polar forces acting out a battle within him. A battle between my father and his demons. Each time he lost, my sister and I lost a chance at normalcy. By the time I was 10, I had been in foster care twice, in 2 different states. I was soon to be shipped off to a third home in New York. By 13, I was back with my dad, only this time I was no longer a wide-eyed child. I quickly became disillusioned with his fantastical stories, realizing they were paranoia brought on by drugs and mental illness. He refused to see a doctor or a therapist, nor anyone who could be a mandated reporter. And so, as his anger issues escalated, an altercation occurred. That was when I made the choice to put my sister and myself in care again. I chose to leave behind my father, who at 14 I couldn't help. I left my father's house with little more than hope for the future. It remains the most courageous thing I've ever done. At first, my time in heart share sequence and services was difficult. After the failure of my first placement, I went AWOL for 2 years before I found my current foster care. During the time that I AWOL'd, I alternated living with friends and living on the street. I switched schools 3 times. I thought I'd never finish high school, never make it to college, never get to help other kids like me, as I had been planning, nor make any difference in the world at all. I was broken. Kintsugi is a Japanese word for golden joinery. When something is broken in Japanese culture, it is repaired with gold and regarded as being more beautiful for having been broken. In high school, I was broken. It took me a long time to realize that I could be more beautiful for being broken. That I was, in fact, art in progress. All I had to do was put myself back together. So I did. I rejoined and became more connected with heart share and business services. I finished high school a year late, but I worked hard. After applying to multiple colleges, I received a full scholarship to Skidmore College, a liberal arts school in Saratoga Springs. At Skidmore, I am part of the Higher Education Opportunity Program, which grants me my scholarship every year. In my first semester of college, I'm getting all A's and B's, and I'm also becoming more active on campus. Right now, I am working with my peers to start a student organization that focuses on advocating for civil rights on college campuses in light of the University of Missouri protests. I am also for leisure part of the DJ Club. My interest in human rights and foster care policy pushed me to become active in heart share savings and services. My bid for Youth of the Year was motivated by what I see as an intense need for change within the agency and within foster care itself. I want kids entering foster care to have an understanding of their rights within the system. I want to break down the mental barrier between foster kids and the administrators who care for them. I want to create a sense of community in the building by offering a safe space to engage and relax. I'm already working with the administrators here to make the dream academy a reality. I want to help foster kids integrate their identities as members of the foster care system and break the stigma and shame associated with that label. I want other kids to realize what I have realized, that we are not helpless because we are broken, but powerful because we are strong. Through my education, determination, and commitment to be a success, I repaired my wounds and turned them into gold. I learned to appreciate the scars and use them to further my goals. I gave myself the normalcy my father never could. I am also giving myself the chance to fulfill my dream of empowering my fellow disadvantaged youth. Perhaps the most important things I have to say are the ones I've left out of the speech, in part because they are so emotionally charged and I want to maintain composure, in part because I know there is still so much unprocessed. But I want simply to acknowledge this and to make a determined statement to you all tonight, that I am striving to give these things expression in meaningful, impactful ways in the years to come. There remains so much to do in order to realize the ideals we are celebrating here tonight.